Well, guys, it might be a point where we have to say Corey Crawford's career is at jeopardy. From last night, getting another concussion, second one in less than a year, that could derail his career to a point where he might have to consider retirement. Everyone was hoping for the good in Crow. This season, his numbers did not show what he actually did. His numbers were not that good, but the fact was the defense was who let him down. Crow being a star goalie for the Chicago Blackhawks, being probably one of the greatest in Blackhawks history, in my opinion, top 3. And for the past 5 to 7 years, he's been one of the top 5 to top 10 goalies in the NHL. Seeing that we may lose Corey Crawford to a concussion, all hearts go out to the guy. He's been part of this team for so long, since being drafted in the second round in 2003 by the Chicago Blackhawks, and he's been in the team ever since. Been on Rockford when he was in his development stage. Made his debut in 2009. Had like 2 games then, and then made his official start as the official starting goalie in the 2011 season. He may have not won the cup, his name may not be part of the 2010 cup, but he was part of the team. He was the third string goalie. I'm considering this. He is a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, mainly because he was the third string in 2010. He led us to 2 more Stanley Cups in 2013 and 2015, winning the Jennings Trophy in both seasons. Last season, before he went down to a concussion by ending his season, he was the best goalie save percentage and goals against wise in the NHL. When he made his return on October 21st, he may have taken a loss this year on his return between the pipes, but it was just a great time seeing Corey Crawford in net for once, for being 10 months long of not seeing Crow in net. But the game against Pittsburgh on Wednesday, this previous Wednesday, he looked like he was the happiest he was in net for a long time. Because how he looked after beating the Penguins. You could see that large smile of his that he had under that mask after that victory over the Penguins, because all of the Blackhawks came to him and basically hugged him, because they knew how much they've let him down this year. He's had actually a solid season, but his numbers did not show. The team up front of him were the causes of his numbers being poor. Corey Crawford being a star goalie of the a star athlete in Chicago, it's a thing to say. I hope for the best in Crow, making hopefully a great return to a career that I believe will put him into the Hall of Fame. But if he has to consider retirement, it's probably the best for him. The team and the Blackhawks, in my opinion, won't be doing the best for him if he decides to make his return. And because I think with the Hawks being on a rebuild, it might be, since he has the 2 Stanley Cups as the starting goalie, 3 if you count his third string role in 2010, you might have to consider, he might have to consider what's best for his family, best for his life, because concussions are life or death when it comes to the end statement. And he's had several in his career, most recently being the longest one, where he's missed 10 months from December 23rd, 2017 to October 21st for his debut back into the lineup in 2017. It's now December 17th, a day after he got his second concussion in less than a year, because he got his concussion on December 23rd last year. It's December 17th. He got the concussion on December 16th. I'm more so worried about the fact that Crow being so important to the Chicago Blackhawks, and what he's meant to the city of Chicago as a athlete, and how fun-loving he seems to be. And can't ever forget his, I'm going to say it, his fucking right Chicago speeches, because you can see he's a joker. You can see he has fun. And this season, it's just been one rough season for the Hawks, and it's continuing now with the fact Corey Crawford's career's potentially at jeopardy. I'm hoping the best for Crow, but we all don't know what will happen. It could be a short-term concussion where he comes back, but honestly, as a Hawk fan, I'm saying this: the best for Crow might have to be letting Crow decide his fate in playing hockey anymore, meaning potentially retiring. He's a Hall of Fame caliber goalie. That's me saying it. John Cooper, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning's even said it. So many people underrated Corey Crawford throughout his entire career. Last year, when he went down, basically showed how he was so underrated for the team. Because without Corey Crawford, I believe in 2013, the Hawks would not have won the Stanley Cup, and same with 2015. I know his first round in 2015 was not good, and that's why Scott Darling got to play some games in the first round versus Nashville in 2015, but then he regained the net and held his own, and honestly, he probably had one of his best playoffs after getting a couple days rest from giving the net up to Scott Darling after a bad start in Game 1 versus the Predators in 2015, but he ended up having probably one of his best playoffs ever. The NHL has underrated him his entire career because of the team he was behind. Corey Crawford has been such a great goaltender and well appreciated by the Blackhawk fan base. Maybe not by the NHL fans who think he's overrated by Hawks' standpoint, but honestly, Corey Crawford is probably going to go down having, in my opinion, he may go down having one of the best careers as a Blackhawk goalie, being the only starting goalie to win 2 Stanley Cups in franchise history, and having the reign of having a great career, a great team, and the greatest fans on earth behind his back. Last night shows it's another part of the dark days of being a Hawks fan right now, being the fact the Hawks are in this rebuild. Seeing Corey Crawford going down, it's just sad to know that it's a potential end to a Hall of Fame caliber career. So, leave a comment down below for Corey Crawford on your favorite memory if this was his last game of his career of Corey Crawford in net. Or even it could be the effing right Chicago speech. It's something for Corey. Let's make it for Corey Crawford. This is for Crow, and I, as a Hawks fan, seeing Crow develop his game as a Hawk from Rockford on up, from Norfolk to Rockford to Chicago on up to raising 2 cups. Corey Crawford is a legendary goalie. And please, I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But most of all, get well, Crow.